Hi, good evening, everyone. It's a delight and a privilege to be here today at the closing session of the BT GCC Summit. I'm conscious of coming at the end of a long day of discussions, but hopefully been a productive and informative day for all of you. I head Citigroup's operations and technology in South Asia, and I've been with the company for over 25 years now. And I must say, in all honesty, that the last 6 years of my career have been the most enjoyable and productive of my career in Citi over the last quarter century. I've spent the last 6 years building out the GCCs for Citi in India. We have a large network spread across 5 cities and almost 22,000 employees today, one of our strategic global networks. And it's been an absolute pleasure to see the growth of this network over the last 6 years. But what's been more important to me is to have been part of the India GCC journey in this time period. It's been a period of rapid growth and tectonic change in the landscape as the Indian GCC industry has gone from strength to strength to strength. For me, the transition has been typified by a small change that we did at Citi, a small, subtle, but meaningful change, where we changed the nomenclature of the GCCs from Citi Service Center, which is what we used to call them earlier, to Citi Solution Center, which is what we call them now. And the change of mindset from service to solution, it's more than just a title change. It's about a whole philosophy. It's about a whole way of doing things in GCCs today. And that's the tectonic shift that I've been privileged to be part of in the Indian GCC landscape. What I must say is that we all studied the product life cycle in college. I think when I joined the GCC industry in India in 2016, it was pretty much in the growth phase, and now we are in what I would say the maturity phase. And that's a great transition to make in a short period of time. Of course, with maturity comes more responsibility, and I talked a little bit about that. But this is really an industry that has now reached scale, it has reached global significance, and is poised to make global impact. I think as we mature into the next phase of the GCC story in India, we are going to move beyond delivery, beyond cost, beyond some of the drivers in the early days of the GCC's evolution in India, to really the next phase of outcomes, creating global impact, driving change across our parent organizations, not just within the GCC, being a strategic part of the parent, not an extension of the parent, and driving innovation on a global scale across the entire parent company. I think that is the next phase we're all headed to, and whatever we heard today is in agreement with that concept. So as we move into the next phase, what are some of the opportunities and challenges that we need to be conscious of? I think we heard a lot during the day today about opportunities. We heard about some key opportunities that could define our journey in the years to come, and I'll try to recap them over the next couple of minutes. First, the broader ecosystem thing that's happening in India as the GCC ecosystem builds up, but equally the entire vibrant technology and outsourcing landscape in India, the startup landscape, the fintech landscape, all of these are coming together to create one of the world's most interesting markets right now. And what that means is the ability to co-source solutions, to co-create solutions, to drive value for our organizations by partnering with the wider ecosystem available in India. It's a unique opportunity, and we need to embrace it with both of us. Second, now that we've reached this scale of the GCC sector in India, I think we need to start being one sector, united in our approach, united in our advocacy, working together to share best practices and to ensure that all stakeholders, including the regulators and wider public stakeholders, are aware of our presence, our scale, and sometimes our unique needs. Third, we need to build on our current skills to introduce future skills and go up the value curve to do end-to-end process of platform management. Some of the GCCs are already there, some are getting there, some are starting to get there. But really, the future skills and value curve upgradation is key to where we go in the next 2 years. Fourth, I think as we add more and more functions into the GCC landscape in India, deriving the benefits of horizontal scale can become a reality. We heard about that earlier today, where we have technology, operations, finance, risk, legal, compliance, all under one roof. The way you could collaborate and harness synergies is enormous. And I think many of the GCCs in India actually are reaching a stage where they can do precisely that. So all of these are immense opportunities ahead of us. And then you have the hybrid model. You have the virtualization that COVID has brought. You have the overall direction of travel of the country as it becomes more digitized. All of these are fantastic opportunities. Alongside these, as we have grown to this scale, come some challenges, but those are good challenges in a way. First, concentration and resilience, which kind of go hand in hand in some ways. I think as we grow in scale, our need to maintain resilience becomes more important because the globe often depends on us. And to mitigate the risk, a creative play on concentration risk is also called for. Now, I know there's a lot of discussion about concentration risk in India, which we may or may not agree with at times. But I think what is beyond dispute is the need to objectively evaluate the risk and come up with solutions that mitigate against either internal concentration risk or client resilience risk. And it could be done in a variety of ways, including diversifying a geographical footprint in India, which could also help diversify our talent base. Second, I think as we become larger, we should not lose our agility. I think the GCC story is founded in our agility and ownership of outcomes. And as some of the panelists pointed out today, size should not impede agility. Lastly, I think we do recognize there are short-term talent challenges today in the market in India. Historically, the talent market does tend to even out in demand and supply. Even though there are short-term challenges, the long-term picture is what is important. This is still a country with an abundance of talent. And I think if you just even out the kinks and look at it over a 5-year time frame, I think building leadership structure, building the right level of internal ownership, and building a mindset of internal build rather than buy are some of the takeaways we heard from the panelists today. So those are some of the opportunities and challenges ahead of us as we go into our next phase of evolution. I strongly believe as a sector, we are in the right place at the right time, doing the right things and collaborating together. So let's continue that and let's succeed together. I want to end by thanking ET and the panelists and the audience today for a wonderful day of discussions. We need many more events like this to keep bringing us together. But I did want to thank the organizers for making today's event happen, and I hope all of you found it useful. On that note, thank you everyone. Been a pleasure being with you today.